Good day, everyone. So today is the first official class of the Computing and Microcontrollers class. So as such, we are just going to be covering the basics. So scratching the surface of what this entails. So first of all, we need to understand how electricity works. So electricity is simply the passage of electric current through a circuit, majorly through conducting materials such as usually metals like iron, copper, and such. So basically, what we're going to be covering is how to manipulate the flow of electricity to do what we want. If you understand what I mean, so we can do complex systems like lights, bulb, flashlights, computers, even calculators. So first of all, let us start with the battery. So a battery is literally the powerhouse of a circuit. It powers literally everything. The batteries come in different sizes and different voltages, which vary based on what is needed by the circuits. Okay, next up we have the resistor. So a resistor is simply a device or a component in electrical studies that helps to reduce the currents in the circuits essentially. So imagine we have a fan and we want to be able to select between 1 and 5 in level of breeze that we need. So the resistor essentially does that. It helps reduce or increase. Doesn't actually reduce increase, sorry. It only reduces. So depending on which level you put it to put the fan to, the current reduce based on that. Next up here we have our capacitor. So a capacitor is essentially like a mini battery in a circuit. So it stores power and releases them in very short but intensive flashes. So if you can charge a capacitor within less than a second, depending on the specification. So you can charge a capacitor within less than a second and disperse the energy also sometimes up to a second, sometimes more. Okay, next up is a diode. So a diode simply is similar to a light bulb, like I said before. So a diode only allows electricity to pass one way. So as you can see, the direction of the arrow, that's the only way electricity can pass. If you try to pass electricity through the other direction, it's not allowed. So a diode essentially forces electric current to only go in one direction. Okay, so I think for the introductory class, this should be okay. So it's just to give you a kind of like a brief introduction to what we are going to be going into. So in our next class, we'll most likely go into resistors, because resistors have a lot of calculations in them, and from there we'll go into capacitors and whatnot, and